I'm RJ Mack, and this is Laurie Mack, and we are headed for Ecuador, Quito, Ecuador. We're going with a place called With You International.
We actually were attending church in New York for summer, and it was there that we had heard about this opportunity through With You International. We knew that we wanted to do something to be able to serve and to be able to love on people and to bring them closer to God and have the relationship that we feel people have poured into us to be able to grow in our Christian beliefs and faith. And that church provided an opportunity that we both were really alerted to during the service and then spoke of afterwards, and found out that it really was a match that God was leading us to. So it kind of just discovered like that.
About us particularly, we have been married 1.5 years now,
Yeah.
close to that, and we just moved from the upstate New York region near Elmira, and now we live in Sebring. Yep, and we go back and forth, which is how we met those people. So when we get to Quito, Christmas is like the big trip everyone tries to go to. But I should mention that this particular ministry does trips all year long. And if anybody wants to go, you can quite literally set your own trip up through them and just go with all the people you want to go with, or you can just go on and join another trip, is what we did. This is the big trip of the year because we get to pass out shoes to all the people. And we go to different orphanages and stuff, and we get to pass out shoes and give gifts and stuff like that. So this is kind of the fun trip of the year. We're hoping to make this a regular thing to be a part of it. It's kind of interesting how it came about that we fit in really directly with what they're doing down there.
So going back to that piece a little bit of how do we fit into all this, I'm actually a special education teacher and speech language therapist. So I've always had an interest in language and in helping other people that were in positions of need. And particularly in Quito, there are several orphanages down there that this particular organization visits monthly. And they also are there to help families that have children that are at risk. A lot of the families only have one parent, and that one parent is struggling to be able to provide for them. So this organization helps to kind of provide that support and that direction toward God through this ministry.
It kind of reminds me of a story that I heard once on Focus on the Family. This guy who used to work for the music industry, he kept getting promoted. He went from being a buyer to a seller to being, head of a whole area and everything. And he was in a hotel room, and this song came on secular radio that was a Christian song. And he goes, Lord, if you actually want me to leave this and join you, then have them play that song again. And believe it or not, they played that song again. And he said, Lord, if this is really you, I need some verification. And the guy came on after the song stopped. He goes, for some reason, I feel like I need to play this song again. And it was just that obvious. I mean, that guy quit his job and he joined the ministry the next day. But here we are sitting there talking with people, and they're like, what we'd really like is somebody that had some idea of how to deal with special education, and maybe somebody that could teach kids language as a second language, or English as a second language. But the problem is we're also looking for somebody who can play music and who has skills in accounting. And we're like, oh, wow, that's pretty much exactly what we are. So it was an interesting conversation, and we ended up really hitting it off with these people. And these people are not seminarians. They're just average people who ended up going down for a trip and staying, which really brings to light another thing is there isn't any train up needed to go help people overseas. All people are really looking for is hands to help what's going on. And really, no one's ever come to Christ by listening to an apologetic speech in any way. Most people are coming to Christ because somebody really loved them and reached out to them. And
positive experiences that were God-led. And that's kind of what we felt happened to us, is that we were God-led to be able to go to be those hands.
Why did you say yes? Honestly, I think we said yes. We actually said yes to this because it was such a direct correlation to who we were. We knew it was God. It would have been like somebody saying, we need somebody that's exactly 5'5", who wears shorts and sandals, who lives in Sebring. It was just such a direct corollary to who we are as people and what we were doing. And we were actually looking for some way to get more involved in the church, but when we thought we were getting more involved, we were like, well, I hope they let us cook the pancake breakfast. We didn't realize that God had a bigger plan. And, you know, when you look at what God's really doing, I mean, what it means to love other people is really to do something or give something that's yours to somebody else without expecting something back. That's what it means to love, is to actually go out of your way for another person without reason, without expecting to get anything back. And that's really all that's required to go to these places. I mean, anybody could pass out shoes. Anybody can go play a guitar and sing songs with kids. I mean, honestly, it's really not that big, but the dramatic effect you can have on other people by just getting involved in things going on here or going on overseas is just really rewarding.
And we knew too that we are kind of in a spot where not only are we in our marriage just starting out, but we're on kind of the next chapter of our life as a couple and where we're going in the next few years, like what's next for us. So this kind of was really God saying, you need direction? I have the direction for you. And he just kind of laid out the map. We didn't even know that one another was thinking the same thing during the service until we talked afterwards, as we usually do. And we're like, oh, I was thinking the same thing. So it really kind of spoke to us during the service, and then we confirmed it afterwards. And it was kind of a no-brainer. We said, oh, I guess this is where God's leading us.
As you were preparing to go, what kind of fears maybe you might have, or worries, or maybe just excitement? I say the excitement, but then maybe you can talk to that too.
I'm really excited. I'm really excited.
I think we're mostly excited. I mean, I've been to the third world before, so I kind of know what I'm walking into. I'm mostly excited. I've always wanted to just be a part of a group that you can really make a difference, and one that you fit into, that they're looking for the skills you have, and it's really nice to not only be a part of this church where people are like, hey, you know, come and join us and do this, but to actually be able to go overseas and help people. So I'm really excited about the whole thing, and the fact that we could go as a couple, and they actually encouraged us to go as a couple right from the beginning, was really great.
Yeah, I'm super excited to go. I have spent 28 years working with children, and I have siblings, and I was the oldest of my siblings. So being around children and helping children has just been a natural thing that I've done my whole life. So I'm excited in a different capacity to be able to continue to help people and to be able to use the skill sets that I've developed through college. I'm looking forward to being able to do that, and then just to be a real person to them. They just need somebody that truly is there with their best interest at heart and wants to help them, wants to give them the strategies and the tools to help them grow. And that's what educators do. So I'm super excited to be able to do that just in a different capacity with what I already have. Fears-wise, I haven't been to third world countries, but even sometimes students that we might work with here have really great needs. They may come from at-risk families. In fact, a lot of them oftentimes do come from at-risk families, and money is oftentimes a factor in that, as well as family support. So that piece of it is somewhat familiar. Culturally, though, I mean, I haven't been there, so that's, I guess, what exactly is it like? Do I need to feel like I have to have some sort of protection on, or hopefully not, but yeah. So I have to say, so far I've been kind of shocked as to what we need to prepare, because God already prepared our hearts for it. So that piece, check. The timing of it, because God's timing is the perfect timing, this actually is taking place right during my school break. Again, check. So preparation-wise, I feel like he already led us to this mission because he already felt that we had some of the skills to bring toward it. So I don't really feel like there was a lot to prepare. Financially, of course, there's always preparations you need to make, and we do, of course, need care for our 4 dogs and cat. But other than that, we haven't really had a lot.
This is our first mission trip, so I don't know if this is common or not, but I mean, the place we're going with really just like has lined everything up for us. This is what you can bring, and this is where you meet us, and get on the plane and you'll be there, and we'll take care of it from there. So that part's been really easy. We've been trying to prepare other things, like getting ready to how it's going to look to teach people there. And I had to contact somebody today to have them print off, 15 or 20 worship songs that I might be able to play over there that might actually work. So, but other than that, really, it's been pretty easy to get ready. I think anybody could honestly go with these people and have just a wonderful experience.
I think it's just that God provides. So yes, there's kind of our mindset that we just need to be open to whatever God has for us and let him do the rest, because he always does. So.
What would you say to encourage people that maybe like where you were just a few months ago when you were hearing about something? What would you say to them?
Be open. Be open. God has a plan for all of us. We just have to be ready to listen and to hear him tell us to take the step. And when he says, who will go? Send me. Send us.
Yeah, pray about it. And when he does answer, realize he's really answering.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be some mystical thing. It's just being in prayerful meditation with God to hear what he has planned for us and be willing to step out into the unknown, the place that might be fearful, the place that you're not really sure if you have whatever it is that they need. Be willing to take that chance.
And it may look different than what you think it's supposed to look like, because we never dreamed we'd be going to Ecuador. I had to look up on a map where Ecuador was. It's just that we prayed about it and God opened this door, and it was very obvious to us. It was kind of like, so obvious that we were supposed to go with these people. It was beyond belief. And we're like, okay, we see how this is working out.
And I'd like to add too, we ended up meeting with the people that had shared at church afterwards. And they had quite a busy schedule in them being at various places to share this information. And once again, the timing of it, God made it happen so that we could meet with them right away and find out more details of this to actually put this into our plan, into the next steps.
Yeah, the only time we had free was exactly when they had free.
Yeah.
It was really quite interesting, yeah. I think that the more you get involved with whatever you think your gifts are, the more you're going to be blessed by God getting involved in the life that you're in. And I know everybody talks about all we can do to help people over there, but to be honest with you, with short-term mission trip, most of the people who are getting help are the ones who are going. And the change in the heart to really just reach out and work within God's scope is just unbelievable.